Welcome to the Crypto News. In today's video, Saylor discuss everything from the current environment of the crypto market to its future.
We have the ability to give property rights to 8 billion people. We have the ability to deploy a digital monetary network to 8 billion people. We can give it as a gift to the world, just like giving them steel, electricity, fire, math, right? Water, clean air, right? So I would say that, I didn't have a need for Bitcoin in February of 2020. In March of 2020, I had a need, right? That was a catalyst. You stumble around and you discover digital gold a la Bitcoin, and we entered the market in August. As traders, we evolved into technocrats as we started to appreciate the power of the protocol. And eventually you graduate to maximalist when you realize that it's not just a good technical idea. It's an essential entitlement to the human race. But if you spend enough time on Bitcoin, eventually you find your way to stage 5. And stage 5 is Bitcoin maximalist. And I define Bitcoin maximalist as someone that thinks that Bitcoin is an instrument of economic empowerment. I mean, I think Jack Dorsey stated that most eloquently in First. He said Bitcoin is an instrument of economic empowerment. So it's not that far. Once you say it's a digital asset that runs on a smartphone, the very next thing that follows is, wow, I can give a bank to 8 billion people, and I can give property rights to 8 billion people. All they got to have is a $50 Android phone and download an app. It'll take about 60 seconds. So I think that when you're a technocrat, you start saying, well, YouTube is entertainment for free to the world, and Facebook is what it is. It's the friend network, and Twitter is that speech network, and you get kind of interested in those companies, Twitter and Facebook and Google and Apple. But you also go through this process where you say, well, do I trust Google more than I trust Alibaba? And do I trust WeChat or Tencent more than I trust Twitter? Do I trust any of these companies because they're run by individuals and they're subject to nation state capture, and maybe they'll be censored, and maybe there's a limit to what they can put on their platform, and maybe if you put the wrong thing on the platform, it'll get ripped off the platform. And so it's hard to have a philosophical, ideological commitment to a company that has a digital network, because you've always got politics. And so the most I could be is a technocrat when it comes to investing in Google or Apple or Twitter or Facebook or Alibaba. And I can't really go beyond being a technocrat. But if I could take a digital network and I could eliminate the company, and I could eliminate the management team, and if I could eliminate the country, the nexus, and the headquarters, and I could decentralize it, and I could give it as a gift to every nation and every company and every person and every family everywhere in the world, then you can transcend this technocrat stage. You can become a maximalist, because now you can say, this is a utilitarian, egalitarian entitlement to 8 billion people. Back in like August of 2020, the company had an enterprise value of approximately $660 million and didn't really have any active investments. And now the enterprise value of the company has ballooned by a factor of not quite 10, but many, many, many billions of dollars. And we have a much more sophisticated balance sheet where we have convertible debt, and we have senior secured debt, and we have the Bitcoin-backed loan, and we have other financing opportunities and activities. So it makes sense to have a CFO that's full-time and dedicated. And Fong really couldn't be that dedicated CFO because he was also serving as the president of the company. So what we've done is, I think, matured as a business, and it allows us to move forward and more aggressively pursue the software business, as well as more aggressively pursue the Bitcoin strategy. Well, yeah, my enthusiasm right now is for Lightning development. I really think the most exciting thing going on in the world of technology is the Lightning protocol. the ability to move Bitcoin, at the speed of light, friction-free, no transaction or de minimis transaction cost. And the appeal of Lightning is not just that you could scale up Bitcoin to billions of people, and it's not just that you can drive the transaction cost to near nothing, but also the ethos of Bitcoin is go very carefully and don't move fast on the base layer without universal consensus. But in Lightning, you can move much more aggressively, developing functionality, and you can take more risks with the Lightning protocol, and you can take more risks with the applications that are on top of Lightning, and build more functionality and build more performance than you can in the underlying Bitcoin layer. So MicroStrategy's got some R&D projects going on right now where we're working on enterprise applications of Lightning. Enterprise Lightning wallets, enterprise Lightning servers, enterprise authentication, things that would appeal to a company. If you wanted to roll out Lightning to 100,000 employees in a day, right? How would you do it? If you wanted to give a Lightning wallet to 10 million customers overnight, how would you do it? And we've got a lot of enterprise development capability in that area because we've been doing enterprise software for 30 years. And so we're working to marry our enterprise software development with the Lightning opportunity. It's still, I would characterize it as R&D stage. It's still early days because we need to see, what comes out of it, what products evolve, and whether they're commercially viable and how it will be received by the market. So I'm not really ready to announce anything more concrete than that, but I do think that the future of the Bitcoin network, all the future technology innovation is Lightning based, and anybody that can actually develop software applications that integrate with a Lightning protocol has an extraordinary opportunity. That's where I'd be focusing my venture capital and my investment right now. When we first embraced Bitcoin, it was a defensive strategy. We were trying to avoid getting destroyed by the inflation that was coming. And we realized that we couldn't just sit with $500 million of cash on the balance sheet. So the first view was, how do we avoid having our treasury assets melt away in a market that's just getting increasingly difficult and hostile? I think that the second stage was opportunistic. Bitcoin's an extraordinary opportunity, and we can increase the size of our balance sheet, and we can do some interesting things like issue convertible debt in order to acquire Bitcoin, and we can build up an interesting business that we didn't really know was there before. I think the third stage is really strategic, right? The Bitcoin strategy, where we're going to acquire and hold Bitcoin, consistently, aggressively, whenever we see an opportunity that makes sense for the shareholders. So that's the corporate evolution. I would say, from a personal philosophical point of view, I started looking for a better gold than gold, a digital gold, a store of value, and I would say that's like. I describe different types of investors. You've got the deniers, people don't believe that Bitcoin is real. You've got the skeptics, people that just don't think it's going to work. They think the government's going to ban it. And then you've got the traders who think it's an uncorrelated asset or it's a correlated asset. I would say I came in as a trader. This is an uncorrelated asset, and it doesn't make sense to invest the company's treasuries in the stock market, or invest the company's treasuries in art collections, or invest the company in real estate. So here's an asset that it makes sense to invest in. I think that's stage 3. Stage 4 is to be a technocrat. That's when you say, oh, this is a digital monetary asset and it's a digital monetary network. And I can use it to move money on a Saturday morning. How do you move $100 million on a Saturday morning from London to Tokyo, right? How do I put money on an iPhone or an Android phone? And so when you become a technocrat, you start to see it as a monetary network, just like Google's an information network, or YouTube is an entertainment network, or Facebook is a social network. And so I think I kind of evolved from the trader mentality to the technocrat mentality. Controversial, if you think about it. It's everybody wants a wallet, a Lightning wallet, and that Lightning wallet has a checking account and a savings account in it. And the checking account would be USD, something like Tether, and the savings account is BTC. And what we can see is that there's a massive, massive demand for dollars as a short-term medium exchange and an understandable store of value across Africa. We know actually that they would trade all of their local currencies for the dollar if they could. There is no African currency that anybody wants to hold more than a short period of time, or only they want to hold it if they're absolutely required by statute. And we also know that in terms of stable coins, everybody wants the dollar. They don't want a digital euro. They don't want a digital CNY. They don't want a digital yen, won, franc. Everybody just wants USD. And so if you want to spread Bitcoin to everybody in Africa, you create a Lightning wallet that has the ability to hold dollars and the ability to hold BTC, and you can swap between the two. And maybe we do it with the Taro protocol. Maybe we do it with another Lightning protocol extension. Maybe we do it with some other proprietary software. There are a lot of ways you could imagine getting there.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available, and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Marco Stan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address, because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Marco Stan.